So my little girl Ruthie, is quite the artist, quite the craft girl. She just loves doing arts and crafts all the time. And she drew a cross on a box before and asked me to cut it out of the cardboard box, and then she did this little yarn thing on it. And where she drew the cross and what I ended up cutting off, I realized was awfully fitting. It was a box from, it's where we get a lot of our veggies or produce from. We order from Misfits market, so it's like produce and stuff that probably wouldn't make it to the regular grocery. You just get thrown out and stuff, and so you can buy it as a discount or whatever. So we get a box of Misfits markets. And what do you know? The middle of the cross is the word Misfits. Did you ever notice how Jesus, throughout his ministry, like to hang out with misfits? You know, like he spent time with the tax collectors and sinners. And remember, tax collectors in those days were considered basically by the Jewish people like traitors, because they sided with work with Rome to collect taxes from God's people. And so they were outcasts, they were misfits. The sinners were misfits. Jesus would go up and he would touch a leper, which is someone he would never touch, a misfit. Even his disciples, like if you were to pick 12 guys to be like your inner circle crew, you wouldn't have picked those guys. And even like one of the things that's really striking about the Gospels, and we can overlook this sometimes, is how central to the gospel story like Mary Magdalene and other women are. We can kind of overlook that because in our day and age, like men and women, are doing things together all the time. But in Jesus' day, like women basically weren't included in much. And so like in the resurrection accounts, to say that the first people who were there were the women, that Jesus appeared to them, like that was very socially groundbreaking in Jesus' day. Jesus hung out throughout his ministry, featured misfits. And you know what? There's a dirty little secret why. You want to know what it is? The secret is we're all misfits. Yep, you heard me. You're a misfit. I'm a misfit. We're all misfits. We were all meant to live in a perfect world with our perfect God, and to be walking pictures of him, to partner with him, to work with him. We were all meant to do that. But all of us have turned away from God, gone our own way instead of God's way. And so we don't fit in a place that God created us to be in. We were cast out of the garden. Adam and Eve, they were cast out of the garden. You and I naturally were cast out of the garden. We don't fit with our God. And so what God did is had his son Jesus come and not just hang out with the misfits, but take everything that's misfit about us on himself. Take my sin, your sin, everything that separated us from God was placed on him. He became a misfit for us on a cross, so that what separated us from God could be taken away. What plagued our hearts and our conscience could be taken away. The dirt, the guilt, the grime that's on us could be washed clean, so that all the damage that is caused by all the wrong things that we do could be dealt with and done away with, so that there could be justice, so that you and I wouldn't have anything separating us from God anymore, so that you and I could live with him in a perfect world, so we could fit in his kingdom. You're clean. You're right with God. He rose to give you a new life so that you can actually look forward to living with God the way you were meant to, so you can fit with him. You and I, you know what? We're misfits, naturally. But Jesus became a misfit so that we could fit with God forever.